What's up, guys? Welcome to another Summoners War Chronicles video. And on NA, we just got the Tree of Heroes, which is the new raid coming to Summoners War Chronicles. It is very important. It is very important, not only for the Sky Stones and all of the rewards. It's mainly for just the rewards that allow you to be able to ascend your seal weapons to Awaken 3. So this raid is super important, and you want to do it. So, but the problem is, it's a pretty high level. It's 503 power to be specific. It's 502 900. But I just go to 503 because it's pretty much just rounding up. But it's a pretty hard raid. So I basically just want to get over the simplistics of the raid, and I'm gonna go over pretty much each phase. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I know you guys will like long videos. But I'm gonna try to be as detailed as possible. So I'm gonna start from beginning to end. To start off, basically your team. What you kind of want in this team is you want a cleanser, you want Argon, and you want either a shielder or another DPS. So I'm gonna go into every aspect of it. The cleanser, you have a lot of options. You have Annabelle, you have Annabelle, you have Shushu, you have Lulu. I think it's okay, but most people just use Shushu because Shushu is pretty much just Shushu is literally just a secret dungeon. So what you want is a cleanser. Take your pick, whatever you have built up, whatever you have, either A14 or A15, because again, the power level is going to be pretty high, especially if you're using a 4-star. So if you're using a 4-star, you pretty much kind of want it to be A15 or at least A14. If you have a 5-star, try to get at least A12. You want it to be pretty high level because the cap is, like I said, it's pretty high. So you, not only your main character, which is Orbi, Cleef, or Akina, have to be pretty high. Like you got to be pretty high for this raid. So it's requires a lot of power, requires a lot of tankiness, a lot of DPS. There's a DPS check in this raid. You want to make sure you're doing enough damage, because if you don't do enough damage, you will wipe. You also want to make sure you're tanky enough, because if you don't want to die too much, because that triggers the boss mechanic to pretty much just wipe the whole entire team regardless. So there's a lot of aspects to this raid that you pretty much have to be prepared for. So again, that's the point of this video, but let me get back to the teams. So you want a cleanser, you want Argon. Argon is just the best by far, because it is very easy to put a whole bunch of debuffs on the boss. So Argon just becomes he's just the best. If you are on NA right now, Argon is banner, so you basically want to take advantage of Argon banner right now. Try to get you at least one Argon, and then after that, just go ham, put them in your altar blessing, or like I said, just if you have all the scrolls that we've been getting, just spend on Argon banner, because if you don't have Argon, you need the Argon. Argon is just really good. He's pretty much getting every single raid content. Yeah, pretty much every single raid content, most PvE content. He's just really good. So if you don't have an Argon, try to get an Argon right now. Like I said, there's multiple ways to get them. There's a banner right now, and if you have been paying attention, try to go to your exchange pizza shop, see if you can find them there. This is how I got my Argon, because I was just super unlucky and Argon did not want to come home. So I got my Argon from the 5P shop. Took a while, but I eventually got him. So that's another way you can get them. I would focus on that, because again, Argon is really important. Is like people could ask, like, is Narha good enough? Yeah, I think Narha is fine if you have Narha pretty high level. But for the most part, I think it's just better to have an Argon. Argon is just really good, because he just provides he's just really good. So I would recommend Argon over Narha as far as the DPS. But if you got Narha is totally fine, especially if you have Narha built up. Like the third option is very team dependent. You can run, I run Bastet, because I think shielding is really important in this raid. I think Bastet is people are running Wusa. I think Bastet is a lot better, mainly because she obviously attack buff, and also the attack break is also nice because this boss hurts a lot. So I would honestly, if you have a Bastet built up, bring in Bastet. I think one of the people, I think what's gonna have to happen is that, especially in the beginning stages, you want two people that have their cleansers on souling, and one person with Bastet on souling, because of the fact that the shield is just really nice. It allows you to tank certain parts of the raid, and you want to be able to just like mitigate damage. And if he breaks the shield, your cleansers and healers are right there to just pretty much like clean up the heal, and you're fine from there. Or just have, like I said, alternating. So you can go back and forth. Another good option I've seen a lot is Vertihill. Vertihill is really good. His kit is just really nice. The mana regen is also really good. The attack speed is also really good, because you want to do more damage. So if you're attacking more, you're obviously doing more damage. And also the crit rest down is also pretty good too. So it's also like he's just really solid. If you have a Vertihill and he's built up, go ahead and use Vertihill. Like I said, Narha is also fine if you want to use Narha. But personally, I would kind of keep it between just like I said, a cleanser, Argan, and then bring in either Vertihill or bring in Bastet, and then go from there. I wouldn't go too much past that. Like, try to avoid 3 stars. You probably could at a certain point. I wouldn't use like Heli or anything like that, because of the fact that it's just like the boss does a lot of damage, and 3 stars are naturally just not that tanky. So it's gonna be hard to get them to a tanky state. So try to avoid them as much as possible. I would stick to 4 stars. Naomi is also good. I use Naomi as a backup. Like if one of my units died and I just want to sub in a DPS while in between, I use Naomi because I built my Naomi up. So if you have a Naomi built up with good stats, go ahead and throw her in. Mine's on her max room, but she still worked pretty fine. So yeah. But just to go over some of the aspects of the raid. So when entering the raid, there are 3 towers. There is a fire tower, and a water tower, and a wind tower. And I will show the run where we completed it afterwards. I just want to be able to like go over everything, because I wasn't really commentating, because I was just trying to communicate with the people in my raid. But there are 3 towers. There is a water tower, a fire tower, and a wind tower. The boss himself will change colors every 2 bars of depletion. So what I mean by that is, like, he'll start at 10 bar, and then when he gets to 8 bar, he will change as long as the tower has been destroyed. Then it'll go from 8 to 6, and then once the tower is destroyed, it'll change again. Then 6 to 4, it'll enter a different phase. So the first phase will be let's say it's always random. You can go in the raid, and he'll be a different color. He'll do different colors every single time. So let's say let's say he turns from light to fire. That means you are going to try to destroy the wind tower. So the key with when he turns fire in the wind tower is you want to stand by the wind tower, because you want him to be able to shoot his shot, kind of weird to say, at the wind tower. So what's gonna happen is your team's gonna stand by the wind tower. He's gonna do things where he's shooting in a straight line like 3 times. He's 2 to 3 times, but you want to keep DPSing him, because as you're DPSing him, he's gonna get to a point where he's going to target one of the 3 members. Now, if you are targeted, you want to make sure that you are standing by the tower, and then when he shoots, dodge, so that way he can damage the tower. Because the whole point is he has to damage the tower. This is gonna be a long discussion, by the way, because this is a lot. He has to damage all the towers, so he damages the towers in different ways. So I guess with the fire tower, he's gonna target one of the people in the party. You're gonna basically stand by the tower. He's gonna shoot the shot, and then when he starts shooting, get out the way so he can only hit the tower. And when he's fired, you only need 2 of those phases for him to destroy the tower. But for the most part, like I said, you're just dodging around. The fire part is pretty easy. 2 parts are pretty easy. The other parts are probably the hardest, and I'll get to that. But yeah, for the fire part, you're just dodging him, doing DPS. And if you are targeted, just stand by the tower. He'll shoot the tower, and the tower will be destroyed. All right, when the wind tower is destroyed, he'll transform into another color. Then let's say he transforms into water. Water is the easiest, bar none. You just have to watch out for the waves. So there are 2 things you have to watch out for. He does a thing where either there'll be a blue shield around him or a red shield around him. If there's a blue shield around him, attack him, because you want to deplete the shield so he gets exhausted and you get some free damage in. If there's a red shield around him, do not attack him. Don't touch him, because if you pop the shield, it'll do an AoE and it could potentially wipe your party. So when the red shield's around him, don't attack him, run away, because you don't want to get attacked, and it's going to be annoying, and that's the last thing you want. So the other part is there's also a thing where he stands in the middle, and basically there will be 3 red cones in 3 separate parts of the arena. I still say to this part, if you have a shield, you can stand in the first part, you can tank the shield, and when your team takes the damage, heal up, make sure you shield. If you have that's why a shielder is really important, because it allows you to basically tank that first hit. You just don't want to get hit multiple times. So just stay close together, bash that shield, and then keep doing DPS. And when he damages, when he damages in front of him, just heal and you'll be totally fine. Then the third part is how you damage the tower. So what happens is he will designate 1 to 2 people, and a whirlpool will be under you. If the whirlpool is underneath you, run to the fire tower. Run to the fire tower and stand by the fire tower. When the whirlpool leaves your feet, that means it's going to stay on the ground. That's when you walk out, because the whirlpool can damage you. But you don't want to damage you want to damage the tower. So that's why you stand by the tower. Stand by the tower, let the whirlpool damage the tower, and then just walk away, go back to DPSing. It's the water one is super easy. It's by far the easiest phase of this whole entire raid. Like I said, just when the whirlpool is around you, just immediately run to the tower, stand by the tower, wait for the whirlpool to leave your feet. That means it's about to go on the ground, and then immediately walk out, because you don't want to take damage from yourself, and then go back to DPS and the boss. The water part is easy. You don't have to worry about it. Now, so we're going to do fire, we're going through water. The last part is wind. Wind is by far the most annoying part of this goddamn raid. It's so annoying. The one thing about when you have to be mindful of is that he's going to throw out a bunch of tornadoes. He's gonna throw out 2 big tornadoes that track people that are near them. If you get hit by the tornado, you will be slowed, and you don't want to be slowed because if you get slowed, that means the tornado's gonna be on you. That means your team is probably gonna die. So you want to be as far away from the tornado as possible. So avoid the tornado. Meanwhile, by all of this, you still have to be DPS in the boss, and it's like he just doesn't. It's annoying. You'll see in the run I put after my explanation. But when the tornadoes are out, try to just run away from the tornadoes. Try to stay as far away from them as possible. Now, how you do damage to the water tower, because that's the only tower remaining, how you do damage to the water tower is essentially what's going to happen is all 3 of you guys will be targeted. He'll jump into the air, and then all 3 of you guys will be targeted by lightning that falls from the sky. Now, this is where communication is kind of key. Or if you're not in a Discord, I highly recommend people do this with people in their guild, or just people that they know or have a Discord, because this part is pretty key, because you don't want to keep running into each other. 2 people will run away from the water tower. 1 person will stay by the water tower so the lightning can damage the water tower. Now, the 2 people that are going away from the water tower, you have to make sure that you don't run into each other, because it's going to be hard to dodge the lightning, because the area of effect is really big. So you want to be as far away from each other as possible, and you want to be far away from the person that's running on the water tower. So it's very important that you stay far away from each other as possible while the lightning is falling from the sky. So, like I said, be mindful of the tornadoes that kind of track you. If you get hit, you get slowed, you will die. And then when he shoots it in the air and drops lightning from the sky, like I said, 1 person needs to be standing by the water tower, because you want to do damage to the water tower, and the other 2 people need to be far away from each other, like literally the opposite side of the screens from each other, and don't run into each other. Like, run on the edge, give yourself some time, and if you run into each other, like, just like go in or something, like, but just stay away from each other, so that way the lightning doesn't affect both of you guys' running path. So stay away from the water tower, stay away from each other, and again, 1 person has to be by the water tower, so that way the lightning can do damage to the tower. Boom. Okay, now you're probably like, wow, Jug, that's a lot. Yeah, and we're not done yet. We're not done yet. So the next part is there will now be 3 portals. Now that you destroyed all 3 titles, there'll be 3 different portals. One portal, there's an Undyne, a water Undyne. The other portal is Tessarion, and I forgot what the wind portal is. But basically, all 3 of you guys separately will go through a portal. I will say, because I've done 2 of them so far, if you go through the water Undyne portal, that one's the easiest. Bring a stripper. If you go to the Tessarion portal, that one is the hardest. Try to swap in some fire tanking units, and then try to swap in like some freeze or some CC, because he hurts a lot. So like I said, I forgot what the wind one is. I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't do the wind one, but for the most part, you want to be able to kill those sides, and then when you're done killing your side, go help your teammates. So probably the one that probably the ones that people will be stuck on is probably the Undying, because she puts revive on herself, and if you don't have a stripper, or if you don't kill in time, she'll put it on herself, and she'll come again, and it's pretty annoying. So like I said, just whatever tower you choose to go through, kill your side, then go help your teammates, so that way you guys get to that part. That part's not that hard, it's just a little bit annoying. I will say that, like I said, the Sarion part is pretty annoying because of the fact that it does take a while to get that to Sarion. He's annoying and he does so much damage. All right, now the last phase. The last phase is where he all come back to middle, and you will now fight him, and his almighty has everything for him. He has pretty much all the aspects of every single phase all in one. So this is the part where you just have to be mindful, and you have to be paying attention, and you can defeat this part, and it's not that hard. Like I said, it's a long raid. Be in for it, drink some water, you're gonna be in here for a while. So what I would say is, like I said, everything's combined. He's now light, so I would say you just go dark staff of your Orbia, or just like for all the phases, I would say go the staff, or go to a weapon that's the opposite of the boss. So if he's fire, go water. If he's water, go wind. If he's wind, go fire. When he's light, go dark. If you can, or you can go wind or whatever, is up to you. I'm just making a suggestion. You ain't gotta take it, but that's also a nice suggestion for people if they want the phases to be a little bit easier, because you get damage bonus. Yeah, it's a combination of everything. So he'll do the tornadoes, he'll do the AoE winds around him, he'll do the red shield, the blue shield. So it's very important that you remember every single aspect of every part of the raid so far. And then, like I said, the last part is DPSing, but it's just being mindful of every part of every phase so far, and then that's how you take him down, because it's just depleting yourself at this point. But overall, like I said, it's pretty easy. I still think the way part, if you have one person soul linked a Bastet or a Wusa, if you're using that, I still think Bastet's a little bit better. If you're soul linked that, if you ever see the little part where he does, like I said, the 3 cones around him that from the water phase, I still think you could just tank one, just do a shield, and then whenever you take the damage, just heal up. And I think you'd be totally fine. I showed it in my run. But I do think this raid is a little bit frustrating because it does require communication. I highly suggest that people do not pub this raid. I was trying to pub this raid for the past 2-3 hours just to have the experience of the pub, and it was dreadful. It was dreadful because the communication is super important, and we don't have in-game chat in Chronicles, and the only thing we do is type, and we're typing and trying to run around. It's very frustrating. It's a lot easier if we're able to just like link up in a Discord and just talk and just have call outs. Hey, you're targeted. Hey, run by the tower. Hey, I need to cleanse. I need to heal. Hey, pop that shield. Stay together. It's so much easier to be in a Discord for this raid. I know a lot of people are probably gonna be like, oh man, I can't do this because I don't have a Discord. You can try, but it's gonna be very, very frustrating. My first completion of this raid was with my guild, and I think for the most part, for the first month of this raid, I'm probably gonna be doing I'll probably only be doing people in my guild because it is extremely frustrating to do this raid. With just randoms, and it's not because I think they're stupid or anything like that. It's just because of the communication aspect. This raid is so much easier if you're able to communicate certain aspects of the raid, because it just makes your life so much easier. It's overall a great raid though. My opinion of the raid is pretty much like, this raid is really fun. It's really cool. It's nice to have a raid that I don't think we're ever gonna get to a point where we're just trying to one phase this boss. It's just a raid where we gotta do the mechanics, and that's how we complete the raid, which is super dope. I like this raid, and I hope I hope that the raids from now on have this kind of theme and mindset, where we're not just out here just trying to DPS it and try to one shot it and be done with it within 10 seconds, because that just ruins the fun. What's the point of raiding if there's no communication? Like I'm not a person that comes comes from WoW or it comes from, you know, all the other. I come from Destiny too. That's my raiding experience, and I like those raids because of the fact that the communication and just the come together aspect of doing a raid where we all have the same goal, which is pretty much completing it. So I like this raid. This raid is fun. You can go from there. You can see the statistics; they're all changing. As you can see, Argon's pretty much #1. Aerial's popping up. I think Aerial's okay. I have an Aerial, but I'm not going to use them. I just think, you know, stick to like these 6. These 6 are fine. Yeah, you can even add it to Sarion if you just want more damage. But I think a team of these 6 or to Sarion is really, really good. That's or just pick one. Like you have to have Argon. Like if you don't have Argon, please get Argon. He's in banner. Go for pieces. You need the Argon. He's super good. As you can see, he's the highest 21.7. Like he's just too good. He's really, 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 really good. Like please try to get Argon. There's really no comparison. Like I said, Naranhan, that's it. That's all I would do. But yeah, I will now play the run. If you like the video, if you like the information, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Peace out. Stay safe.
Jug, your water. Just stand on me.
Oh, don't hit it.
The water one's the easiest one.
I know. Cattle.
No, it's fire. Shit.
Ah, this sucks. Oh, well.
Is it on?
It's not Jug.
Jug!
I'm coming.
It's too late.
That was my bad.
Okay.
It's not good. Sometimes I'm just playing.
For a mobile game that needs Discord, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
This fire sucks. Who's it on?
What's on me?
Jug. Don't near it.
I was almost there. My bad.
I just feel like we're doing more damage.
Huh?
Jog.
I'm moving. I'm moving. Ah, the bang. So it's stuck in the corner.
Wait, switch it down. Well, I guess after he does this, I'll switch. What's left?
When?
Wind. The shitty one.
Oh, why are you taking it away from me? Okay, now somebody just gonna try to do.
Close. Run.
Oh no, it's so close.
He said he kill the towers, we're fine. It's dead. Yeah, bird makes a big difference.
Good thing I've been scaling them up with it, man.
Makes a big difference in the game. Oh, don't give me you fuckers.
Dude, it's whatever. It's not like.
That was whatever's closest to me. I just literally
Yeah.
went to the one that was closer to me.
Yeah, no.
Ah, I killed my R again. Fuck.
Where am I going?
You killed my R again. How do you help? Killed my R again.
Okay.
Shit. Dude, fuck.
Oh god.
Dude.
Okay, okay. No, I need less of it. Oh shit. Gotta shoot Pat on the face. And he didn't dodge every time.
I didn't see it, sorry.
Just a tornado right there. Go hit it. Okay, you don't have to run all the way out.
Ow. What the fuck?
Yeah. That's,
Here, heal.
oh.
Top.
You get heal?
I got it.
Nice.
Not done yet.
Good shit.
Fucking pilot. Holy
That's, I was wondering why it took like the highest times like 3 minutes. I was like, what the fuck? Why is it 3 minutes? I know why. Oh, wind weapon. Nice.
pilot.
Oh, a good wind weapon. Nice. Holy shit.
It's not bad. 0 though.
Yeah,